Dr. Frenkel, when you look at the IMF, the overall fearing was exactly this, right? People were kind of angling to know how they could counter any protectionist measures. But will it die down in the end? Will we see kind of, the cool heads of globalization, or at least economy, prevail, or could it get messy?
Well, I would hope they will prevail, because normally, under normal circumstances, if I just showed you the numbers, growth is good, economic performance reasonably well, labor markets operate well, even inflation moves towards the target, and people are worried. And why? The main reason today is the dangers from protectionism. Not only because protectionism is a bad thing, not only because of the fact that in an interconnected world, protectionism means let's cut the veins and it's dangerous, but also a new element came in the discussion, which is investors are now slowing down. They say there is a lot of uncertainty. How will it resolve? So beyond the trade, it is uncertainty that holds investment. And without investment, we will not have growth, and what we see now may be temporary. So I really hope that all of this is reflections of some negotiating tactics rather than a strategy of cutting the veins.
I mean, it certainly seems that all the finance ministers and central bankers that we spoke to were so acutely aware of this concern that they would try and maybe mitigate some of the effects. Is there anything in their power that they can do to try and get chief executives to reinvest?
Well, certainly one of the things Christine Lagarde was talking about at the weekend, again, was this fixing the roof while it's raining and doing more to improve the kind of underpinnings of economies, so to speak. I think what things executives and investors would help is perhaps fewer tweets from leading international policymakers. That's one thing that would kind of provide some certainty. A lot of confusion last week about from tweets from the President of the United States about OPEC, about currency devaluations in China and Russia, and accusations that don't necessarily add up when you look at other things. And so some pressure there kind of on the U.S. administration for some clarity.
Simon, I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's get some reality from the former governor of the Bank of Israel. Jacob Frenkel, were you ever tweeting as governor of the Bank of Israel?
Well, let me answer in a more positive way. By the way, when I was governor, the word tweeting was reserved only for birds. So when the issue of communication is the real matter, clarity of communication, transparency, and dialogue with the markets and with policymakers. In this regard, the statement that said that Secretary Mnuchin is planning to fly over to China to renew communications is, for me, very good news, and I hope that indeed it will be implemented. Because let's face it, it is not in the interest of neither China nor the United States to get into this slippery slope. But the issue is that each one may come to the table with a different strategy. One has the tactics and one has the strategy. For the United States, the essential element is how to deal with the property rights of intellectual property rights, especially in the technology area. For China, they want really to expand into the world more and more. They think about 2025. We think about the way towards 2025. And I think that many wars in history started due to miscommunication. We should really avoid it at all costs. The stakes are very high.
Jacob Frenkel, since Tom Keene brought up the Bank of Israel, do you think the current governor will get another term? And local media reporting that you're a candidate for the job, are you?
I will only refer to your first question, which is I hope she will get another term. She is doing a very good job, but I will also help with the second issue. I'm not a candidate for anything.